So here are the underrated habits to get beach lean when starting at 30% body fat. For the first habit, make it so hard to fail, you force yourself to win. First things first is adding friction between you and the bullshit foods that got you fat in the first place. I'm talking your cookies, your ice cream. Get all of these out of your environment, out of your house. Avoid all of the triggers. The way we're gonna do that is we're gonna delete the fast food apps. We're gonna unfollow the food pages. We're gonna keep our environment completely clear of all temptation. This is 90% of the battle. Because no matter what you do, there are gonna be days when motivation is low, where hunger is high, you wanna give up, you're not aligned with your goal. If you've got bullshit foods in the house, it's not a conscious decision, you're going straight for them, you mess up on the diet just because you're on autopilot. But now consider this, the house isn't full of those things. Now you have to actually go out of the house, walk out of the house, drive to the shops to get the foods that you want. Do you wanna be that much of a loser? And that's the first barrier. The second barrier is replacing those foods. So instead of in your environment having the bullshit cookies, ice cream, you have fresh strawberries, you have your zero-fat Greek yogurt, you have your high-quality grass-fed steaks. Now when you're hungry, even if you are tempted to go for those foods instead, you've added 2 layers of friction. Now you're like, okay, I've got this in the house, I'll go for this first. And if you make that decision to go for, okay, I'm hungry, I fancy something else, but let's eat as many strawberries as I can over the next 30 minutes, and let's see if I still want those things. That's gonna be the cheat code that gets you to that next level, because you've removed the temptations, so you're gonna get less cravings. And when you do get those cravings, you've got convenient foods in the house that you can go to straight away that are gonna keep calories low, not crash your energy. Instead, you're gonna have high energy all day. You're gonna feel better day to day. You're not gonna be as hungry. And this is why this is a killer 1-2 combination when it comes to dropping body fat. And you may think you're disciplined, which I'll tell you you're not if you're 30% body fat. But even the most disciplined man in the world, if you had to use that discipline every single second of the day when you're dieting for 4, 5, 6 months, why would you not want to make it easier for yourself? Because even the most disciplined man will crack under the pressure when the pressure's high enough and the temptations are all around. But you may say, I'm only having those foods because they're convenient. But if you're having fresh fruit, 0 prep. If you're having zero-fat Greek yogurt, 0 prep. If you're having a grass-fed protein shake, 0 prep. Then if you have one big meal in the evening, let's say it's steak and veggies, it takes you 5 minutes. You flip a steak, you've got the veggies on the go. Okay, that's done. All of your meals in the day, 5 minutes. Can you realistically say you going and trying to pick out your fast food choices, waiting in line or ordering on Uber Eats, thinking about what to eat? Do you really think that takes less time than you going, okay, let's have the strawberries, let's have the Greek yogurt, let's have a steak at dinner with some veggies? It's a fallacy that you tell yourself. The story that you tell yourself becomes the prevailing thing in your life. You tell yourself it's too hard, it's gonna take too long for me to eat healthy. Guess what? You'll always have that excuse in your back pocket. And now you can justify eating like a twat. And the last thing is you don't even have to step foot in a supermarket. You can get all of this stuff delivered online. So let's say you order on Uber Eats right now, and you don't just order it for that. So get your meat subscription set up, get your supermarket subscription set up, set and forget. Very low effort, high leverage thing that you can do to avoid all triggers. And that's the way my clients are losing 50 pounds on autopilot. For example, I get my meats delivered every week. I'm not going to any supermarket. I've got it all set up for success. Remove these low-level tasks, like choosing what to eat. Now, if you just did that alone, you would 10x your chance for success. Next up, just as powerful, the daily accountability mirror. First thing you want to do in the morning, you want to step on the scale. Second thing, take a long, hard look in the mirror. This is a 2-phase accountability check. First thing, you step on the scale. What that will do is that will put in the top of your mind your decisions that you're going to be making throughout the rest of the day. The decisions you've made on the prior day. Okay, this is a problem still. I need to make slightly different decisions. Maybe I went over on calories yesterday. I need to make this tweak today. The thing is, you know you have to face up to the scale tomorrow. And if you make the poor decisions, you're not going to like what you see. Second thing is taking that long, hard look in the mirror. This is the most powerful. A lot of guys, they hide away in winter, they hide away in the loose clothing, they avoid the mirrors, they avoid the problem. The only time they actually have the problem is when they're going to the beach in summer, but they quickly forget about that in winter. When you look at yourself every single day, the problem's right in front of your face. You know, okay, I can be doing better. I'm not where I want to be yet. Today, I did fancy falling off track. I did fancy not training today, but because I saw what I saw in the mirror, I know I still have to get the work done. I'm not gonna hide away from the problem because the problem never gets solved. That's when you actually get two sides of the coin. Usually you see a donut and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna enjoy that. I'm just gonna love that. But now you see, is the short-term pleasure of eating that donut worth looking at something that I despise for the next 10 years? Realistically, the pain of staying the same has to outweigh the pain of doing the things that you know you need to do to make that change. Do you want to be the man who's wasted his entire potential for a tiny little hit of dopamine? A man who's a slave to his impulses, a prisoner in his own mind? Is that the man you want to be? And that's why the daily accountability mirror is one of the most powerful things you can do when you're looking to drop fat. Then we've got the morning fat burning furnace. This is where you fast until 1 to 2 p.m. You're focusing on black coffee, spring water, Celtic salt. This is gonna keep cravings low. It's gonna keep you mentally sharp all morning. The power of this is you push the meals later in the day, and it's very unlikely, especially when you're eating the right things, that you're gonna overeat in that smaller time frame. Next up, walk everywhere, don't run. You see, walking, it lowers hunger, so it makes the diet easier. It also lowers your stress, prevents the dreaded boredom eating. And if you get out on those morning and evening walks, you get the sunlight in the eyes. You improve your sleep quality, which you'll see in a moment, is one of the most powerful things for fat loss. Whereas with running, you set yourself up for failure. It's gonna raise that hunger, raise the fatigue, and it's also gonna give you the entitlement after the run. You're like, yeah, I deserve a reward. So you're gonna eat more, you're gonna be hungrier to eat more as well, and you're gonna sit down the rest of the day. So you burn more calories in the moment, but you make it harder for yourself to stick to the diet, which is what's gonna drive the fat loss. Next up, you wanna prioritize protein in all of your meals. And I don't mean like an idiot picking up everything that says high protein in the supermarket. That's gonna get you nowhere. Focus on real food. Focus on steak, eggs, fish, dairy. A nice little hack is when you're in the supermarket and you're not sure whether it's high protein, look at the label. If the protein is above 10% of the calories, so let's say it's 100 calories, it's over 10 grams of protein, that's a good protein source. Something like a zero-fat Greek yogurt is an excellent protein source at almost 20%. And another protein habit to get into, you wanna match the vegetable and the fruit to your protein portion. So let's say you're having 300 grams of steak. You're having 300 grams of berries on the side or 300 grams of asparagus. This is an absolute monster when it comes to killing cravings. It is also gonna help you build more muscle, which is gonna help you melt fat. The next hack, going to bed and waking up at the same time. You see, what happens when you're up late? Realistically, you're doom scrolling, you're watching TV, you're making poor food decisions. What you want to do, I know after work you may be like, I don't get any time for myself, I need this time to wind down. That's the fallacy that your mind feeds you, because you get that quick dopamine. You feel comfortable, you feel relaxed. That's just because the phone is designed to keep you distracted and happy. But that's what you think is happiness, but it's just pulling you away from your potential. Take that time in the morning instead. You'll feel 10 times better going to bed earlier, getting up earlier, and then attacking your goals. Rather than sitting there at 30% body fat for the rest of your life, you go out, you go on a walk, you get sunlight in the eyes, you get a workout in, you eat quality food in the morning. You take that morning to armor your mind for the day versus I'm sitting there on TikTok till midnight. I feel like shit, I get terrible sleep after, I wake up tired, and then I repeat the cycle. Get to bed early, wake up early, make sure it's the same time, even on weekends. Be the boring guy for 6 months, or be out of shape for 20 years, wishing you had been the boring guy for just 6 months. The next habit is a game changer. You see, when you're losing weight, your body has two options. Should I pull from fat or should I pull from muscle? Now this next hack is what's gonna prevent you pulling from muscle so you look fantastic. You don't just end up going from 30% body fat to skinny fat. This is lifting, and it takes a lot less than you think. I only train 2 hours per week. It's because I train with intensity, and outside of the gym, I have everything dialed. My clients sometimes train 1 hour per week, 15-minute, 20-minute body weight sessions. It takes far less than you think when you've got everything outside of the gym optimized. You could literally be in the gym 2 days a week. Job done, you look fantastic, you prevent the muscle loss, so you get that lean athletic body, and it doesn't take any time at all. You don't need to be in the gym 6 days a week, 2 hours a session. In fact, that raises your hunger, makes it harder to stick to the diet, and honestly, most of you, you're not gonna be able to keep that up. Then you quit, then everything else falls off, and you stay fat. For you guys at 30% body fat, start with 2 days. Do it consistently. And if you get to a point where you're like 6 weeks in, yeah, I could probably do an extra day, taper up, but it doesn't make a huge difference because with as little as 5 sets per week per muscle group, you're able to build significant muscle. And if you're at 30% body fat right now, you're likely a beginner, untrained, never really done anything right. So you're gonna be able to maximize growth, keep hunger low, and look fantastic when you drop to that low body fat. And a quick hack, put it in the morning before life gets in the way. That's easiest for most guys. And this last one really is a hack for life. Block your social media apps at your weakest points. 2 hours before bed, 2 hours after waking. You see, you want these times cut out completely because if you wake up, first thing you do is scroll on your phone, you get that quick hit of dopamine. What that signals to the brain is, I don't have to go outside and earn that dopamine, making that workout that you plan to do now look 10 times harder, look like a massive chore. Why we do it before bed as well. So let's say you're training before bed, same sort of thing, but also you avoid that blue light stimulation. You avoid staying up later, and this is gonna maximize sleep quality. You see, if you're sleeping 6 hours because you stayed up late and you're scrolling social media, you literally lose half the amount of fat and you lose double the amount of muscle. It's a terrible trade. Don't let the phone trick you into thinking it's something that is giving you actual happiness. It's giving you short-term pleasure at the cost of your purpose. If you're 30% body fat right now, you do not need the distraction. You should be going out on your evening walks, you should be going out on your morning walks, you should be training. If you sat there on your phone, then it makes everything else harder because you've already got low energy. If you pile on top of that, I get the dopamine from my phone, everything else looks like a chore, and then you don't do it. And then you get a ton of anxiety because you know, I just spent that time on phone, I wasted that time, tomorrow I'm gonna get it. But if you don't block the apps, you're not gonna do it. If you start implementing these habits from today, in 6 months' time, you'll be unrecognizable. You'll 10x your chances of getting to 10% body fat, but do not get complacent. If you go well for a couple months, realize that's the trap. That's where you don't look that much better yet, and you've been putting in a lot of work, and you feel like you deserve a reward. So everything is pointing to, let's kick back and relax. It's not really working anyway. And that's why most guys fail. But if you get to that month 4, month 5, month 6, you're on the tail end of that transformation. That's where the abs start coming in. That's where the jawline comes in. That's where the testosterone starts rising. That's when you feel your best. That's when you look your best. But you have to get over that first hurdle. Everything becomes easier. Confidence. You get real confidence for the first time in your life. When you show up to the beach, it's not dread anymore. You're actively looking forward to it. You're not the fat friend anymore. You're getting more attention from the ladies. Your partner's actually attracted to you again. These are the things that are all waiting for you on the other side if you just get over those first hurdles and start implementing these habits. And as always, if you want me to take out the guesswork completely and design something for your lifestyle specifically, tap the application down below. What we'll do is we'll jump on a call with myself or one of my team. We'll take a look at where you are now, where you want to go, and how we can help you bridge that gap. It's going to be a free strategy call, and I'm going to map out your journey completely, so that way you have clarity even if you jump off the call and you don't join the team. You know exactly what you're doing on your next steps. So drop a subscribe if you're new, drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and comment what you want to see me post next.